Hey everyone, my name is Zach. I'm a 22-year-old competitive bowler from Canada, currently living in Toronto. Welcome back to the COMPCLIMB training series, where I record most of my training, provide in-depth analysis of every session, and just chat about climbing with an emphasis on competition. Today we're training at Up the Bloc. Up the Bloc is near Toronto. It's in a city called Mississauga. It is probably what I would consider to be like my second home gym in the Toronto area. This gym opened in like 2017, and like ever since it opened, I just started climbing here all the time. And this was like sort of like a really sort of a gym that was like really pushing the limits in terms of like the comp style bouldering in the area. And it was like really different looking than all the other gyms. It had like just a really, like they had all the new fancy holds, some like setters, and they were really good at setting comp style boulders. And this is probably the gym that I would credit for me learning a lot of basic just techniques and fundamental sort of like comp climbing movements. Like I really leveled up my slab game here. They have like a lot more slab than like some of the gyms I was used to climbing in the area. And the setters loved to like sort of set coordination moves that weren't like really popular at the time. And this definitely really got me sort of leveling up my comp style movement game. So yeah, Up the Bloc, I love this gym, and it's always nice to come visit it. And what's also fun for this session is I think they had like a local competition here recently. So I was going into this session expecting some comp style boulders. This boulder that we're getting on here, for example, is like a finals boulder from the Ontario like local competition that happened. And so the way the grading here works as well is it's by the color of the tag. So you'll see at the top of this boulder that's got a pink tag. And so pink tag is the hardest, and then black tag is the second hardest, and then red tag is like one below that. And the taping, that being said, like the tape color is like different because I think it's just like sort of like not matching. Usually it matches, but they had a comp recently, so I think that's like, I don't know, making it different. But it's also the same at Joe's, like it's the same grading system at Joe's. But yeah, so this is like, you know, like I said, a comp boulder, and then you can see they put a pink tag on it because it's like really hard. This move at the end here is like really scary. This left hand that I'm grabbing here is, it's like, you know, the hold is actually pretty good, but it's the dual text side up for the thumb and the hold that you're grabbing. And so this wall is actually like the tallest kind of wall. At least it feels like it in the gym. And so to like jump to this finish hold off of this hand that feels like it's going to slip at any second, it's actually really scary. And I was like having, I don't think anybody did this move in the event, and I don't doubt it, because this move is like, not only is it really hard, but in order to even try hard and commit to it, you have to like risk your life, it feels like. But anyway, this boulder is also going to bring me to the tip of the day, which is, if you can notice on all my attempts here, the pacing of all my tries started to get faster and faster. So today's tip of the day is very simple, and it's actually kind of it's pretty subjective as well. It's not like this is the guaranteed right way to do things, but this is something that I really believe in, and I would recommend to anybody. Like if I was coaching someone, this is what I would recommend to them. Especially when Maddie was doing lead, I actually recommended this to her a lot. When she was lead climbing, because I think it's like quite relevant for lead climbing, and that's just to climb faster. And especially in like a 5-on 5-off round, if you can really minimize the amount of time that you're on the wall, it can really help. And I don't mean that you should get on like your flash go of a boulder and like try and stand it as fast as possible. That's not quite the case. But like especially like your second attempt and on, your attempts should be getting faster and faster, and just because you already, like, not only do you, for the moves that you've already stuck or you've already done, not only have you know how to do them, and like if you have a good enough memory, which you should work on, like you can just try and cruise through these moves really fast. But it's just good for so many reasons. Like, you know, you save energy for when you get up to the crux, and you just have a bit more power because you're on the wall for less time, and you have a better chance of sticking a move. And it also, like, you know, chalk will stay on your hands. You'll have better friction. Like there's so many advantages, and like especially in a 5-on 5-off round, like, you know, you'll have more time to potentially try the boulder again, or not tire yourself out for the rest of the round. So like there's a lot of advantages that come with being able to climb fast, especially in 5-on 5-off. So it's a skill that I would recommend anyone to practice if you're like looking to optimize for 5-on 5-off, especially, but I mean, even just for bouldering in any capacity, and for lead, you know, if you're trying to send your project, it's always better to get up to a crux with more energy. And this is a strength of mine, I think. My buddy Ben likes to call me, like, it was sort of a meme, honestly. Like there was definitely a period in my life where I was actually taking this too far, and he was like, I was trying to speed run boulders to get to the crux, and it would often have me slip a lot of the time. So it's a bit of a fine line. You don't want to be like sort of just flailing your way up a boulder to get to like the crux. But if you can add just a bit of speed, it can help and enhance your attempts by like a little bit or even a lot sometimes. So I was really emphasizing it on that green boulder because I needed, like, especially because the last move was like the biggest crux, I needed to get up there with a perfect amount of energy in order to try that boulder really well. So I was trying to go faster and faster. But yeah, in the meantime of this explanation, we've been going around doing some more boulders. Some of the boulders I got on weren't necessarily comp boulders. I don't actually know which were comp boulders and which wasn't. You'll notice like some of these boulders, like this one has like a blue tape, but then it's a black tag. So like those ones I was sort of like assuming were the comp boulders, whereas the ones with like the last boulder we did was like pink tape with pink tag. I don't think that wasn't a comp boulder. But yeah, like this gym is known for like setting comp style boulders, but you could tell that there was just sort of a step up in terms of comp style because they just had a comp here. And so I was definitely like appreciating the opportunity to just get on some actual comp boulders as we're like preparing for an event. And yeah, it was pretty good. So for this session, I was feeling pretty decent. I'll probably need like just a couple more days before I'm feeling like my strength is like exactly where it was before we left Germany, which was like on the last few days before we left Germany, that is where I would want to go do nationals. Like that's how strong and like good I was feeling. So it'll just need a couple more days for the body for the sleep to catch up with me and for me just to feel recovered and feel like I was feeling like pre-travel day. But that being said, my movement is actually still feeling like really good. And I was really feeling it today. And it was good to actually go have a session here at Up the Bloc. Like when we were training at CR, I was noticing more of like what I was lacking in that current state and time, which was like the power and like the physical, like feeling like my body can just go like try its absolute hardest just because of the nature of our gym being like so steep and having like more sort of like classic commercial style, like powerful boulders and less of the movement stuff, so I wasn't actually able to sort of re-emphasize that my body and my movement is feeling really good because we didn't have a lot of those boulders up. And so this session was actually more of like a confidence boost in my movement. You'll notice like I'm like doing all these sort of like funky moves and elements well, and these boulders are only taking me a couple tries, like the more movement-based stuff, because I feel like when I'm traveling and I have to go through like a time zone change and like I have to deal with jet lag, my movement skills don't really get affected too much, and I feel like my body can usually like know what to do. Like it's just as smart as it was. Like the jet lag isn't going to make my body less smart, even for a couple days, but it will make it feel weak, basically. And so I was really able to emphasize today that my movement skills are still good, still primed, still like probably some of the best they've ever been, especially just like being able to train in all those German gyms. Like, and they were setting so many amazing technical boulders. My body was able to just be like fed boulders and boulders and boulders and get really smart. Like my movement skills are super smart these days, and it really showed, I think, in this session at Up the Bloc. We're like going and we're doing these slabs like really fast, doing these like weird funky moves really fast. So this was a good like confidence boost session, and that's what I need. And so now just give me a couple of days, and then the physical like power stuff will start coming back, and then I'll be like feeling super confident for nationals. And that's like sort of what it's all about. Is you also want to like make sure that you're sort of programming your training and planning your training to also sort of enhance your mentality and your confidence. So you want to make sure you're giving yourself these opportunities to feel confident and be feeling good going into a target event, because confidence is a real thing. If you don't believe you can do well in an event, it's going to make you perform worse. And so you almost have to sort of emulate your training to sort of trick yourself into feeling good. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that I'm having like sort of the comp simulations, like I mentioned, the ones we did at Joe's, I was trying to hopefully have a softer comp simulation where I would get a lot of tops and then be feeling like I'm like performing really well. And now we got to go to Up the Bloc and do all these sort of movement-based boulders where I'm going to be increasing my confidence. So that way I just have confidence when we're going to nationals, and it's like a really powerful tool that you can use when you're competing. And so that concludes today's day of training. In a couple days, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do, so I was just talking about like sort of the confidence booster, softer comp simulation. I'm going to go try and do the opposite of that in a couple of days. I'm going to do like a proper, like, okay, I'm going to go into this comp simulation and try really, really hard, and just to get like my try hard mode activated, like my comp try hard mode activated. And we're going to go do that at a gym called Grand River Rocks in Waterloo. And I like messaged the head setter like a month ago. His name is Jack, maybe even like a month and a half ago, because I was like I wanted to make sure I had like a really good comp simulation before nationals. And Jack is like one of the best setters in Ontario. He's like so psyched. Maddie and I love Jack. And so I said, hey, can you like slowly start incorporating some like good boulders for a mock comp over your sets in like a month and a half leading up to now? Because I had my program planned out way in advance. And so that I could go do a mock comp. And he said he was down for that. So yeah, in a couple days, we're going to go to Grand River Rocks and get on a cool comp simulation, hopefully. So look forward to that. Insert catchy video outro here.